guys, welcome back to the channel for a brand new speed build. So this particular apartment was actually created for the McGrath household. In case you guys don't know who the McGrath family is, I will actually be linking their creative sim at the end of this particular video, so you could go ahead and check them out. I will also kind of be talking about them a little bit throughout the speed build, so you can get a greater idea of who they are and why I did things a particular way. So today we are building an apartment in 17 Culpeper House located in the Spice District of San Myshuno. Originally, I wanted a very small apartment because, well, when I get into the story, it's going to make a lot more sense. Unfortunately, a lot of the apartments that I was trying to build in were too big, too large. So I decided to go and create a faux hallway that kind of looks like an extension of the main building's hallway, or like kind of where you come up the elevator and yada, yada, yada. This actually worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to, and it doesn't feel fake or forced or anything at all. Like, it genuinely makes this particular apartment feel completely different. And in case you guys didn't know, this is Juniper Foreman's, I almost called her Forston, Juniper Foreman's old apartment, and I cannot play in this house and not think of her. Like, it is literally tainted. In fact, this entire building is tainted by the Foreman, so I had to go to extreme measures to kind of, like, you know, trick my head into feeling like I wasn't actually playing in her old apartment. And it worked out great. Like, I actually really love the way that the hallway turned out. Now, the only thing about this is that it might actually be really hard to see when you have visitors, but you know, I don't usually pay attention to that crap anyway, and half the times you get like a notification, so it's really not that big of a deal. So immediately when you walk in, you are greeted with a pretty substantial sized kitchen. I really love the way that this kitchen looks, and you're probably like wondering why everything is so freaking dingy and disgusting, and that actually ties into the backstory of the family. So Declan and Mateo are father and son. And Declan's the son, Mateo is the dad. Mateo is a criminal. He is a freaking cold hard criminal. He's been living the life of, you know, what is it called? The defiance? I don't even know. Forever, since as long as he can remember. Like, he tried to go straight once, but he realized it wasn't for him. And this is essentially all that he has to show for his mischievous ways, you know? It's not much. It's really nothing at all. It's definitely, you know, kind of in really bad condition. He's lived in this apartment for decades, and to be honest with you, it's a roof over his head. Nothing more, nothing less. So it's a 1-bedroom, and the bathroom is kind of small. It's a little weird because like the sink is like right underneath a window, you know, but I mean, it gets the job done. So Declan actually had to move in with his dad because him and his girlfriend Stevie recently broke up. Well, she broke up with him for reasons I will tell you in her creative sim, and now he's stuck living with his dad, which, again, 1-bedroom apartment, there's really nowhere for him to go. So he sleeps on an air mattress, and the only good thing is that there was just enough room for him to put his easel and his art supplies. Declan's a painter, and although his dad literally gawks at him when he's like up until the wee hours of the morning, you know, trying to create the newest and greatest and latest masterpiece so that he hopes it will land in the hands of the museum in San Myshuno, you know what, it works. He does what he needs to do because he refuses to give in to his dad's lifestyle. So here I'm going through some, you know, clutter items by Lissy, which are really helpful. I do clutter the hell out of this apartment as well. You guys are going to notice a few things that are kind of pertaining to their backstory, like this notepad here, which is basically just, I don't know. I don't really know if the notepad or like these notes have anything. Maybe like this is his letter, Declan's letter to Stevie, to like try to win her back, maybe possibly. I put in some bills because obviously I don't think Mateo is paying the rent. And there's a couple packages, mysterious packages that have been left on the counter. I also threw in just some random decor items, and then I realized like this apartment is starting to look way too nice. Like, it needs to look ran down, it needs to have like cracks in the windows, and so I started to kind of like scuff it up a little. I have always struggled with the drapes in this particular apartment. There's just so many windows on this corner unit. It's ridiculous. It like drives me nuts. I wish there was a way that we could delete some of them, but I didn't really end up finding anything that I liked. But so I decided again to kind of dirty it up. We got some holes in the wall. Some of the beams are showing, that type of a thing. I also add in some pipes, which are pretty cool too. And here we go, laying down some of Declan's art supplies. Like I said, he's young. He's an inspiring artist, and right now he's in a really tough tough situation living with his father. But I'm really curious to see how their relationship, ends up panning out, if he does give in or maybe dabbles in the life of crime just to, be able to like afford all of his materials, like the canvas, the paints and all that jazz. Or maybe he just stays clean, I mean, I really don't know what could happen with Declan. I'm really curious to find out though. And so this bathroom is a mess. Like, it's not the best, but I finally used the Parenthood shower tub combo, or is this just a shower? I can't really tell. I never really used this before or have used it before, but because it kind of just fit with the theme, I decided to go ahead and add it in. I'm throwing in a couple other miscellaneous items here. I definitely put in some water damage into the apartment because I would assume this is probably a really old unit, and again, if nobody's like, if Mateo doesn't let anybody come fix anything, it's probably starting to crumble at this point. Like, let's be real. We have soap though. Gotta sell some hand soap. The only issue with this apartment is there's gremlins, but I really wanted them to live in one of the TLC apartments, but unfortunately I couldn't make the hallway trick work because there was like a whatchamacallit, there was the pipes were at a weird spot, and then like the power box, and I think also like a vent was just it couldn't work. So this is the only thing. I built this apartment like freaking four or five times. But here is Mateo's bedroom. I definitely struggled pretty hard with what to do in here. You're gonna notice I had no freaking idea. I didn't know if I wanted to go with the painting. Maybe I wanted to put up a couple shelves just to have some random items. I ended up figuring it out though, and I really do like the way that this particular apartment came together. There's definitely a few other things that I wanted to go ahead and add in, but it's good. I like it. I love brown. You guys know that. You know what, like everybody has a style, I swear to God. Some people are like, oh, your Sims all look the same. Yeah, it's called a style. It's called a style. It's called a style. It's called a style. My apartments all look the same. My house is all, it's a style. That's all that it is. Just kidding. But seriously though, like I love brown. Like, you can't blame my mother. Honestly, all of our apartments were brown. Okay, we had some red accents in there, maybe some green, maybe some blue. But you want to know something? My mom's new apartment, okay, it's like Instagram-y. It's like, yeah, silver, like mirrors everywhere, all different shades of silver gray. There's also like some pops of like really pretty steel blue in there. I don't know, she went wild, man. She went wild. But yeah, typically she likes brown, but for this apartment she liked silver. It's like I said, it's very Instagram-y, very like Z Gallery-esque, I guess. But anyway, I wanted to play up with the paneling, and then I realized that just ain't gonna look right, so I decided just to go ahead and go with the stripes, which I thought kind of fit the apartment really well. They had like the water damage, and they also kind of like, it just looked old. So I was like, yeah, screw it, go for it, laying down some prugs. I really like what I did with the pipe. The pipe is weird. I know, it kind of like sticks out like a sore thumb, but there's just something about it that kind of like makes sense for some reason. Like maybe there's like some water heater in the back or whatever. I don't know. It gives it kind of like a more industrial vibe. I wanted to use this shelf from, I think, Tiny Living. I don't know. I really liked it. I liked the little like, what is it called? Like the oven mitts and stuff, and like the random like little cookie jar, little tea thing. Again, I didn't want to add in nice clutter because then it kind of took away from the I guess the distress in this apartment. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and throw up a couple things like, this gifted 5-finger discount signed jersey that Mateo has. He also has a degree. Yes, he has a degree. He doesn't like to talk about it very much, so we won't go into it, but he wasn't always going to live the life of crime. In fact, at one point he wanted to be a blue-collar worker for his family, but it didn't work out that way. And shortly after, Declan's mom decided to hit the road. I don't know where she went or what happened to her, but the fact that she actually left really had a huge detrimental impact on his upbringing and who he is, and probably the reason why he has like such a hard time with relationships. But overall, Declan's a really good kid. Like, he's a great kid. He has an amazing heart. He was just dealt a really crappy hand of cards, and he doesn't know exactly how to shuffle them quite yet. So he's figuring it out. But here we are, really going ham with the clutter. We have like a basketball because Declan loves to go to the basketball court down in like the main, area of the Spice District. He loves to kind of try to he's been loving trying to get back into exercise and stuff like that, because he's kind of let himself go a little bit. Also, the keyboard is something that he likes to play every now and again. That's his bicycle over there. Most of his stuff is actually in the living room, to be honest with you guys, because again, he doesn't really have anywhere to sleep. I would envision if you did decide to go ahead and put down like an air mattress, you would have to move the stuff. Also, there's a mod where you can get like a sleeping bag. I recently did a video on that too. That sleeping bag has been updated, so if you wanted, you could have Declan go and sleep in a sleeping bag on the floor. It's totally up to you. But yeah, we're pretty much coming to the end of the speed build. I will of course be putting this on the gallery for whatever freaking reason. It is showing up that it has custom content, which I find really odd. I don't know where the hell that's coming from, but I'll try to fix that. Otherwise, you might have to click the advanced tool and then allow CC. But again, rest assured there is no CC. Very adamant about figuring out something that would work with drapes, but unfortunately, I don't think I ended up. Wait, did I go with these? Did I really? I think I did. I don't know how I feel about those now, actually. I might take those down, or you could take them down, but I mean, they're not totally the worst thing ever. Anyways, long story short, you guys, if you want to go ahead and check out the McGrath household create sim, again, that will be linked at the end of this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this speed build, and if you did, you know what to do, boo. Don't forget to go ahead, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, where the sun does not shine. And per the usual, I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Walking on fire, trying not to burn my feet. I'm tired of fighting, saying things we don't mean. You know I don't like it when you're packing your bag and turning your back, calling me a liar, calling me a liar. Trying not to let my feelings get to me. Sometimes I can't let them go. So now I got these voices. Now I got these voices in my